Perfect. All right. So, good afternoon. Welcome to eRiver's Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I'm pleased to call this meeting of the eRiver's Go Team to order at 3:06 on August 26, 2026. Today, I will act in the capacity of interim Go Team chair for this meeting. Our first order of business is to appoint an interim secretary and call roll. Is there anybody that is willing, just for today, to serve as interim secretary? Hey, Allison. Thanks for joining us. All right, now someone has to serve as secretary. And it cannot be me because I'm chairing the meeting.
I can. My mic wasn't turned on. This is Allison. I need
Thanks,
to turn my camera
Allison. Appreciate you. If you go into the Go Team folder, Allison, you should see like a minutes template. So 2627 Go Team, organizational meeting, and then you will see the minutes template, I think it is. I'm going to wait for you to get there and make sure that you have access and are able to type into it. And your mic is off again, so I see that I see your lips moving, but
there was an email to the drive. Did you send that, or it's probably just in my drive, my Google Drive?
yeah, in the calendar invitation that I sent, it was linked in there. But yeah, I mean, I think that if you go into your Google Drive and probably click Go Team, it'll come up.
It would come up. All right, give me one more second. I'm sorry. Let's see.
I just looked at came in our Outlook on Monday at 3:54.
Awesome, thank you.
Yep.
I found the folder and now I just have to get the minutes. All right, I'm there.
All right, and make sure you can type into it.
I can.
Okay, fantastic. All right, I'm going to keep on going then. Okay, so Allison Nelson will serve as the interim secretary only for this meeting. Our official secretary for the 2026-2027 school year will be elected during this meeting. The interim secretary will now take roll. So Allison,
Yes.
I can't remember if those minutes actually included the members of the team.
It doesn't, but I'm going to try. I can go down the line right now.
Yeah, that'd be great. And yeah, go ahead and do that.
All right, so Ms. Weingart.
Here, present.
Ms. Pease.
Present.
Ms. Early.
Present.
And I guess it's the two community members who I just have to be reminded. And I'll put you in.
AJ Baker.
AJ Baker.
Present.
And Sarah, is it Broyd?
Broyd, yeah. Present.
Awesome. Thank you.
And so I'm going to reflect for you, Allison, who is missing, and that is Mark Hardy and Greg, 2 G's, Smolar, S-M-O-L-A-R. And Mark is with a C, M-A-R-C. Okay, the team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Allison, is there a quorum present?
I think so.
We need a majority of Go Team members. So since we're only missing 2. Yeah.
Yep, we're good.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so let me click over here. So just a quick rundown of the agenda, and our first order of business is to approve the agenda. Again, this was provided to you. Copies are, you can see up on your screen. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any amendments to the agenda? And just so you know, I can't actually see you guys because I'm reading from multiple screens. So just know that if you're signaling to me, I'm not able to see that. So just be audible. All right, all in favor, please say aye or raise
Aye.
your hand so the secretary can record your vote.
Oh my
Aye.
gosh.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Anyone abstaining? Please abstain by raising your hand. Okay. We will now move to, interesting, the slides are out of order. Okay. We'll now move to filling the vacant seats, and which we have none. We don't have any vacant seats. We only have the open community member seat. So a vacant seat would have been if one of our returning members, Allison, Mark, or Greg, or Early, didn't return to us. Okay. So because we don't have any vacant seats, we're going to move to the next thing, and we are going to fill our open community seat. Before we begin the process, I'd like to remind the Go team of the following. The principal is responsible for bringing forth the nominations for the vacant and open community seats. All Go team members have only one vote per seat. Individuals filling a vacant seat will serve until the conclusion of that seat's term. Again, that's not applicable to us. Individuals filling an open seat, like the community seat, will serve for the full 2-year term. Upon approval, individuals are immediately full Go team members and may join the meeting. My recommendation is not here today, so I wanted to, so he obviously will not be able to join the meeting. Okay. So we'll now move to fill the open community member seat. This person will serve on the Go team for a full 2-year term. I nominate Michael Conforti to fill the open community member seat. And if you give me a second, I can, he actually ran back in the spring. But he remained, even though he didn't win the election, he remained very interested in serving. And so if you're like me, you probably don't remember anything about Michael necessarily from like the videos and from the election results. So I'm just going to give you a little background. So Michael, he holds a BS in Health Information Management and is a Master of Health Administration. For the past 14 years, he's worked in the healthcare industry, specializing in managed care, strategic planning, and management consulting. He consistently supports eRivers PTA school and community activities, including Field Day, the Veterans Day celebration, the Christmas tree sale, the fun run, the eRivers Education Foundation, and serving as a traditions class presenter. Additionally, he volunteers as a coach for youth baseball and soccer teams and serves on the leadership council for the local Cub Scout Pack. He'd like to serve on the Go team to support and advance the mission and values of eRivers. He is particularly interested in the IB framework and feels that it is vital and should be strengthened, as its curriculum provides students with a strong foundation for a holistic worldview while enhancing their critical thinking, empathy, and communication skills. I hope to leverage my familiarity with the school, community, and professional experience to help the Go team meet its operational, enrollment, and financial goals. Are there any questions about Michael and his nomination?
Nope.
Great. All right, so we will now proceed to vote on the nomination of Michael Conforti for the community member seat. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. All opposed, please say nay. Well, all right, we'll start there. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
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 Okay, all opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions? Okay. All right, moving on. We will now review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. Those minutes have been provided to you. Now, I don't recall early, I know Allison, you were in that last meeting early. I don't recall if you were. Really, the three of us are the only ones that can provide any corrections to those minutes. So did either of you see anything that needed to be corrected on those minutes? The only thing that I noticed was at the bottom, I didn't have record of whoever was the secretary and took notes, which typically was Nicole Sheroff. She was our secretary. I can't recall if she was absent and if Wendy or maybe Allison, you took those minutes.
I think it was Wendy that took the minutes.
You think it was, okay, that
Yeah, I
sounds
think-
great. So,
I think so too. It
okay,
wasn't me.
so we'll correct or really just add to those minutes at the bottom that Wendy Sanders was serving in the role of secretary. Okay. All right, and with that, if there are no further corrections, can I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
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 All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions? All right. You guys are doing great. All right. So we will now move to electing Go Team officers and representatives. Now you will notice that there are 4 seats here. And there are only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you, which means I need 4 of you to be willing to take on one of these roles. Okay, since neither Mark or Greg are here, it doesn't seem fair that we should volunteer them to be either of these things. So, I need to remind the Go Team meeting, the Go Team of the following. Nominations do not have to be seconded. A member may nominate themselves. A member may nominate more than one person for any position. A member may decline a nomination during this process. Members may not serve more than 2 consecutive terms, i.e., I guess that's a total of 4 years in the same, 2 years in the same officer position at the same school. None of you were officers last year, so that is not applicable. Nominees do not have to leave the room during the nomination period or when a vote is taken. If there is more than one nominee per elected office, each nominee will be offered an opportunity to share why they should be elected to the seat. The newly elected officers will assume their positions starting at the conclusion of this meeting and serve until June 30th. All voting members have only 1 vote per seat. All right, so first we will elect the Go Team's chair. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the chair include, but are not limited to, leading the Go Team meeting. So just as I am going through Robert's rules, that is what the chair would do. The chair also works with me and the Go Team to develop meeting agendas. The chair is responsible for ensuring that every Go team member has an opportunity to be heard, as well as monitoring team compliance. And you can see the qualifications listed there. So I will now open the floor to receive chair nominations or volunteers.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is it best or recommended that the chair be someone that was on the Go team last year versus someone that's net new this year, like continuity from the team?
I I appreciate the question, Sarah. Last year was my first year here, so I don't have any longevity when it comes to kind of speaking about the Go team and kind of the precedents there. Last year's chair was in her second year of serving, and she was the community seat that we're actually replacing.
Okay.
But honestly, I don't think that is a needed requirement, because largely the district Go team sends us, just like this presentation that you're seeing right now, that was created by the district Go team office. And they also send an agenda of topics that they want us to discuss. Really, it's if there are additional items that we feel or other Go team members kind of reach out to the chair and say, this is a concern. This is something that's going on in the community, and we'd like to add it to the agenda so that we can bring it up for discussion. So it's just, little things like that. But largely, I sit down with the chair and work to review these presentations and the agenda, and we discuss the previous meeting, and if there are things that we need to follow up on, or if there's new business that we want to discuss. I don't know if that made you feel better or if that
No, that's
intimidated you
helpful.
more.
I mean, I can volunteer myself if there's a lot of silence, so.
There is a lot of silence. Yes. Sarah, I appreciate you volunteering.
We
I
need
guess
to
you don't
form,
want to decline the nomination since you volunteered. All right, if there are no further nominations, I will close the floor and we will begin the confirmation process. We have one person being considered for the chair seat. The nomination for chair is Sarah Broyd. I feel like I'm not saying that correctly. I'm sorry. At this time, I will offer, do you want to explain? You don't need to explain why you're the best candidate. You're the only candidate.
I think that's my qualification.
Do other Go team members want to ask Sarah any questions before voting? All right. Please raise your hand to vote for Sarah. Any abstentions? All right, congratulations, Sarah. You'll serve as the Go team chair for this school year. All right, moving on. We will elect the Go team's vice chair. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the vice chair include, but are not limited to, ensuring the Go team follows parliamentary procedure, working with the principal and the chair to develop meeting agendas, and acting as chair if the chair is not present. So this person really, I would say that largely it's their job to be really, really familiar with Robert's Rule. And you would be the person that we refer to for reminders of, are we doing this correctly? Are we following Robert's Rule in this meeting? Okay. So I'll now open the floor to receive vice chair nominations.
I'm willing to if no one else is. I mean, there's another position I was thinking I was maybe even better fit for, but happy to lend my hand.
Well, I can nominate somebody just to make it awkward.
What position did
Ms.
you think you were
Weingart, what
better
were you
suited
gonna-
for?
I think
Yeah.
maybe the cluster
That's a good one.
person, perhaps. Being that
Allison.
I'm
I mean, that is a good one.
Yes.
It requires you attend, just so everyone knows, and we'll get to it, obviously, but it does require attendance at the district cluster advisory meetings. And so
That's fine.
basically you work with the other schools in the cluster and just discuss things that are maybe happening within our cluster or sometimes happening within APS as a whole. Last year, the big topic was largely around kind of the reconfiguration of the district, the possibility of closing schools, et cetera, et cetera. That was the big topic there.
that's fine.
Do I have any other, I mean, we're still on vice chair, so do I have any other nominations for vice chair? Okay. There are no further nominations. I'll close the floor and we will begin the confirmation process. The nomination for vice chair is Jessica Weingart. Please raise your hand to vote for Jessica. Any abstentions? Thank you, Jessica. I really appreciate both you and Sarah volunteering. All right, now we will elect the Go Team secretary. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the secretary include, but are not limited to, submitting Go Team documents, agendas, summaries, and minutes to the Go Team document form. So there's a particular electronic form that that every month has to go to the district Go Team office prior to our meeting taking place. The secretary also takes minutes at the Go Team meetings, as Allison is doing today. Thank you, Allison. And you're also responsible for ensuring the Go Team is in compliance with Georgia open meeting laws. Largely, that is making sure that the agenda and the meeting notice and the time of the meeting is posted on the school's website, and that we're doing things like live streaming and doing the other requirements of Georgia open meeting laws. I'll now open the floor to receive secretary nominations or volunteerism.
I'll volunteer. This is what I was gonna volunteer for if there's nobody
All
who
right.
wants it.
Thank you
I
so
was
much,
gonna
Allison.
nominate you.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So if there are no further nominations, I'll close the floor and we'll begin the confirmation process. Please raise your hand to vote for Allison Nelson for secretary of our Go Team. Okay, so I don't know that you can vote for yourself, I mean, maybe you can, I don't know, but I feel like I need at least one more to make sure we've got a quorum. Thank you very much. All right. And then no abstentions that I see. Congratulations, Allison. You will serve as the Go Team secretary for this school year. All right. And finally, the cluster representative. Cluster representatives may also hold an officer position. Oh, Jessica, look at you. As a reminder, the responsibilities of the cluster representative include, but are not limited to, attending all cluster advisory team meetings, there's about 3 in the year, and then reporting back to the Go Team on those cluster advisory team meetings. I'll now open the floor to receive cluster representative nominations. Jessica, do you feel like you can do both?
Yeah, the vice chair kind of seems like a be there, be ready position, not like
It
as
is,
directly active. Yeah, I
It's
think
kind
I
of a
could do both.
placeholder for
Yeah.
sure. All right,
I'm
anybody
definitely-
else?
Oh, I was just gonna nominate Ms. Weingart. I thought she could do both and would be good. A good fit.
Okay, great. Any other nominations? Okay, if there are no further nominations, I will close the floor and we will begin the confirmation process. The nomination for cluster representative is Jessica Weingart. Please raise your hand to vote for Jessica for cluster representative. Any abstentions? All right, congratulations. You will serve as the Go Team cluster representative, Ms. Weingart, for this school year.
Thank you.
All right. Somebody have a question? I thought I heard something. No,
I just
okay.
said, gotcha. Thank you.
Ah, great. All right, so adhering to the agenda, we'll now discuss our meeting calendar for this school year. As a reminder, our Go Team is required to have at least 6 additional business meetings this school year, hold meetings outside the instructional school day, live stream and record meetings, and meeting locations for hybrid meetings must be in places which can accommodate the public. Honestly, we had hybrid meetings last year, and it largely was me and Allison and Wendy. And on occasion, someone else would show up, but largely other Go Team members were joining virtually. And quite frankly, the electronic setup for just 3 school members felt it felt arduous when really everybody could just be virtual. So I'd like to make the recommendation that we do not do hybrid and that we remain virtual for these 6 Go Team meetings. We don't have to vote on that. Just, is there any discussion? Anybody want to offer an alternative point of view? Okay, great.
Is there opportunity to maybe have like the initial meeting as a kind of in person, just in terms of just team building of some sort, or
Absolutely, absolutely, there is that option. We just all have to agree to it, right? And I think that we all live busy lives. And so I just find, like today, we're missing 2 members. And so while we can, those of us in the room say, yeah, our first one's going to be live, I can't promise that the other 2 Go Team members will be able to do that, or, something might come up with the rest of you in which you can't make it either. So,
AJ, I had
the other thing that I want to say is we can kind of decide as we go, right? So AJ, we can start an email back and forth and decide and agree, reach consensus as a team as to whether we want that first one to be hybrid or live rather. Well, it would be hybrid because we still have to stream it.
And I was wondering, because AJ, to your point about getting to know each other and team building, if we do something outside of a meeting that's more just a social get together, if that's allowed too.
Yep.
like that.
Absolutely. That is allowed. We can have what's called work sessions, and do some team building and things of that nature. In a work session, there is no voting. So, and you're not really supposed to discuss the Go Team business, I think, but yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that suggestion.
So, something similar to, I think that was the Education Foundation. So, like it's maybe less, well, I think that was a working session though, but, even if it was just a 30-minute to an hour gathering just to kind of shake hands and meet, outside kind of official business time. I think that might be helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. I think, if we could just continue that conversation via email, and then that'll also give me a chance to look through Robert's rules and just make sure that if we call a work session that we're doing that abiding by the law. Okay. So, so today, I don't know what day of the week it is. I mean, I know what day of the week it is. I don't know what week in the month it is. I'm trying to look back at my calendar. Does Wednesdays at this time typically work for everybody? Okay, can I have maybe some folks just throw out, and keep in mind, we only have to have 6 meetings. 6 more in addition to now. So if somebody wants to just kind of throw out some Wednesdays, I've got both the PTA and the EREF calendar and the school calendar behind me, so I can double check to make sure nothing else is going on those weeks. We try not to meet in December just because December is a crazy month. I also find that meeting later in the month as opposed to meeting earlier in the month ensures that we have all of the district Go Team materials. Sometimes they have a hard, sometimes it's difficult getting things at the very, very beginning of the month. So, and then we also did not meet in May or June of last year.
4th week of September, the 4th Wednesday is the 23rd, and then the 4th Wednesday of October is the 28th.
Okay, let me just look at.
I know that that 4th week of November, it's gonna be break.
So
Yeah,
did I hear you correctly say September 23rd and then October was that 21st?
28th for the
October 28th.
for the 4th Wednesday of each of those months. Yes, ma'am. September 23rd,
Yep.
October 28th.
Yep. Those dates work for everybody? Just those 2 dates so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. All right. And then for November, so we could meet, the 11th is Veterans Day. I would suggest we meet the following Wednesday, which is November 18th, instead of doing it on Veterans Day or trying to do it, during fall break. Certainly we could if we're virtual, but I really would rather us not.
Yeah.
November 18th work?
Yep.
Yes.
Coincidentally, that is my mother's birthday. She will be
Oh.
76.
Awesome.
All right, so then that leaves January, February, and March. All right, so if we go with the 4th week in January,
It's the 27th, I
that's the
think.
27th. That works for me.
Me too.
Is that anyone that doesn't work for?
I can,
Okay,
works for me.
perfect. February 24th.
Works for me.
fine.
Works.
All right, so March 24th is slated to be Evening of the Arts. So I would probably rather not us do it then.
The 31st is Rock Eagle, so I might not be here for that, but
Right, yeah.
And student-led conferences, I think, that day too.
1, 2, 3. All right, so we could also skip March and do and have our next one in April. That would be, we could either do it April 21st or April 28th if we feel like March doesn't work and we want to stay on a Wednesday. We don't have to stay on a Wednesday if we wanted to keep it March and.
April 21st is Passover, so I personally won't be available, but if that doesn't affect anybody else, then I'm
No, I
totally
don't want-
comfortable with you doing
Yeah,
it.
I don't want to do that. I'll be, I'm not available either. Thank you for telling me. I don't have that on my calendar, so
I have it on my
um,
Google Calendar. April 28th, though.
April 28th.
Yeah, that works for me.
It's open.
All right. April 28th it is. So September 23rd, October 28th, November 18th, January 27th, February 24th, and April 28th. Okay, hold on. Note to chair. Your Go team should plan on 3 meetings for the budget process. So we do the budget in the spring. The first in late January to early February to review budget allocations, done. The second in early to mid-February to draft budget, done. The third in early March for budget approval. Okay, so we might have to not do that April one and instead find a date in early March. So let's
How about-
look.
How about the 10th?
That would work for me.
The 10th works for me as well.
I might be out of town that week.
Okay,
All
all right. So, I'm going to say that that's okay. We would still have a quorum if you're okay with that. I mean, we could also look at the 17th if that's better. I'm out of the building that day. I'm at a principals meeting on that day down at Phoenix Academy. We could potentially move the meeting back a bit, like later in the day, or the week before. Let me hear your thoughts.
I have the dentist on the 3rd, but again, the 3rd of March, if I understand that meetings can go on without me, so that's fine.
Yeah, no, I think we're talking about either the 10th or the
Oh.
17th.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
17th works. But only if that, yeah.
I'm good with 17th.
Me too.
Yeah.
What time does your meeting at Phoenix Academy get over?
You know what, Sarah? I was just thinking about it. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? That's actually a great excuse to leave that meeting. I mean, I have 2
Fair.
principal meetings a month, so
Okay.
And typically the end of the day is, not the most engaging of the pieces of information. So March 17th would be great for me.
Okay.
Okay, there we go.
And then so we're
Done.
saying no meeting April 28th then?
That's
Or would
correct.
we? Okay.
And then are we just gonna keep it at 3 o'clock for all of them? Or do we need, it does say in the meeting minutes to put a time, but I don't know if that means we have to.
Yeah, no, we absolutely have to. Does this time work for everyone?
And just to confirm, what time were we setting for that day?
Just staying with 3 o'clock for all of these meetings, AJ.
It works for me.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay, great. Thank you. Now that we've determined our calendar, can I have a motion to approve the calendar?
A motion to approve.
A second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, raise your hand. All opposed, raise your hand. Any abstentions? None. All right, so make sure to enter these dates into your personal calendar so you don't forget and plan. I will also work in the coming days to, just like I sent out this calendar invite, I will work to send out Teams calendar invites for each of these days. But I'll be honest, it's been a crazy week. I don't see myself getting to it until next week. So if you're one of those people that your calendar fills up very, very quickly, make note of those dates. Does anyone need me to read those dates again? Okay. All right. We'll now move on to our next business, next item of business, and that is reviewing confirming our Go Teams public comment protocol. Public comment opportunities are available for Go Teams to hear from interested members of the community. From section 3.4 of the Go Team handbook, it reads, opportunities for public comment shall be provided at least 4 times in a school fiscal year and noted on the Go Teams webpage and meeting agenda. Go Team members will not provide responses or engage in direct conversation during public comment. During that public comment, we just listen. Each Go Team will determine a consistent method for receiving public comments and for parents and other citizens to sign up to address the team. At least 20 minutes of time will be allotted for the public to make comments at meetings where public comment is permitted, and the public will receive at least 2 business days notice of the public comment protocol. I'm going to walk us through a few key decisions we'll need to make as a team. As I read each one, feel free to share your thinking so we can come to an agreement together. Okay, so first, we need to consider which meetings do we want to allow for public comment. Again, at a minimum, we're required to offer 4 business meetings during the year. Now, I'm going to tell you, as I said, last year was my first year doing this. Allison, did we have one person ever try to make public comment?
No.
We did not. It's very
Yeah,
quiet.
We didn't. And now that's not to say that people won't want to step up and do it this year, but just kind of keep that in mind. I do think that those spring public comments, particularly February and March, can be a time that folks want to make public comment because we're budgeting, we're planning. And for those of you that were here last year, as you know, the budget got real complicated. We lost a great deal of funding and had to make some very, very difficult decisions that impacted us this year. So, I think that's a good place to hear from our community and hear their concerns or the types of things that they'd like to see at the school. So we factor those things in. All right, so I'm not hearing any discussion. So I'm going to recommend that our public comment, we need 4 of them. Definitely 2, one should be March and one should be February. Shall we say October and November?
I think that makes sense.
That sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay,
I
So
like
I'm
the
just gonna-
February and March ones, so that was good.
yeah.
That also gives time if something develops that people would like to talk about, then they can
That's right.
prepare their thoughts accordingly.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, great. All right, so we selected specific meetings tied to major action items. All right, next we need to decide how will individuals sign up or let us know that they wish to speak. This could include options such as an online sign-up form, email a specific person, or sign up in the meeting. What process feels clear and accessible for our school community? So we last year, and we can do the same this year, we had on the Go Teams website, on the eRivers website under Community Go Team, there was a place at the bottom. It was a Google form link, and anyone could click on it and sign up to make public comment. If we would like to continue that being kind of the method. And so then what happens is I receive the Google form and I can email a link email our Teams link to that specific individual so that they are able to make the public comment.
I think that makes sense.
I
Okay.
like that too. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Building on that, what do we feel is a fair deadline for signing up to speak? For example, will we require sign up a certain number of hours or days in advance of the meeting? Again, I don't recommend that it's hours. I think that we should have at least 24, if not 48 hours.
The agenda's supposed to be out public 3 days before, or is it 7 days?
I mean, legally, it only has to be out 24 hours in advance. Best practice is to have the agenda out a week in advance.
Okay.
But they're not just making public comment on the agenda. They can make public comment
Okay.
about anything.
Okay.
So, if we're going to have, I need time to get see whoever signed up and then reach out to them and ensure they have the link. So it's hard for me to do that in one day, but I could probably do that in 2 days advance.
I would say at least 2 days for that reason alone.
Yeah, I was even thinking the Friday,
Yeah,
using
Friday,
every meeting on a
free.
Wednesday, the Friday before.
The Friday before.
That's good. Yeah. Close the
I think
business
that's
the
fair.
Friday before.
That gives you plenty of time, or us plenty of time to, yeah.
It does, and I appreciate that greatly. All right, so Friday before is the deadline. Okay, great. All right, now let's talk about timing. How much time will we give each speaker to provide their comments? We want to ensure fairness while also allowing enough time for meaningful input. That's kind of a hard one for me to gauge because we didn't have anyone sign up last year. Does anyone know, typical board meetings? I think
DeKalb
everyone's been to
County
APS.
DeKalb County gives 3 minutes, just
Uh-huh.
because I've been in my kids' schools.
Yeah.
Seems like a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I was gonna
3
say
minutes it
5, so
is.
that's close. Yeah, I like 3 too.
I think
Especially,
Decatur might have done
let's
that
say,
too.
especially if they're ranting, 3 minutes.
Yeah. 5 minutes of ranting would not be
3
pleasant.
minutes feels like you've been heard.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so then related to that, when during the meeting will we hold our public comment period? Will it be at the beginning, at the end, or split across different points in the agenda? I don't want to split it. So would y'all rather get public comment out of the way and then proceed with the meeting, or would you rather wait until the end of the meeting and provide public comment then? Provide an opportunity.
Can you remind me, based on the public comment, do we adjust or adapt our agenda, or we hear public comment and we stick with our agenda?
Yeah, and so that's why it's really important that we do not respond to whomever is speaking, because we have to stick only to our agenda.
Then I think I would say at the end.
That is how DeKalb does it. It's the last thing, and they, their secretary takes notes and nobody comments.
Okay.
That also lets the speaker become informed if what they want to talk about is something we're talking about in the meeting.
That's a good point.
Already been addressed.
All right, so at the end it is. Is there anything else we would like to include in our public comment protocol? This could be additional expectations for conduct, how we communicate that to how we communicate that the Go team is only going to listen without responding. I tend to have all that already on the form, so kind of norms for public comment. Is there anything that anyone feels strongly we should make sure to add in terms of those norms?
I think if you got it on the form, and if people were to get up, just a reminder, stick to 1, 2, and 3, please. Go.
Yep. Yep. All right. Can I have a motion to adopt this public comment protocol?
Motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, please raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
All right.
All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? I see none. All right, now we will determine our go team. Oh, we just did this. Okay. All right, our go team meeting norms. So we'll begin by reviewing the initial go team meeting norms, which you see on this slide here. It's pretty straightforward. Being fully present, I mean, we really are the spokespeople for our community. This school doesn't just belong to the teachers and the students. It belongs to everybody. It belongs fully to the community. So I feel like we've got a responsibility to make sure that we are really fully engaged. Follow the agenda as noticed to the public, stay on task, be respectful of each other, open-minded, invite and welcome contributions of every member, listen to each other, respect all ideas, assume good intentions, and approach our differences of opinion with curiosity, not judgment. Does anyone have any changes to these norms that you would like to recommend? All right, seeing none, can I have a motion to adopt these norms for our go team?
Motion to adopt.
Second. Yep.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions? I see none. Okay, fantastic. We will now move to the discussion items on our agenda. So this is a stakeholder engagement exercise. As a charter system, which is why we have a Go team, because that is part of the charter, the decisions that the Go team makes shapes this school's future. And the best decisions come from hearing the diverse voices within our school community. When we bring families, students, staff, and our community into the work, not just into the audience, we get stronger ideas, better outcomes, and a shared vision we can all stand behind. So here's the challenge. We're going to look at 4 groups, families, students, staff, and community. For each one, we'll answer 3 questions. What's a fun or unexpected way to keep them in the loop? What's a meaningful way to get their ideas or feedback? And how can we bring them into the work, not just be an audience? So, all right. So I'm going to take this off of presentation mode so that I can type in it. All right, y'all should still be able to see that, yes? Okay, so let's take it one by one. So what's a fun, unexpected way to keep, well, first off, I mean, several of you are family. You have kids at this school, at least 3 of you have kids at this school. So, do you feel like you are kept in the loop? And if not, what would better keep you in the loop?
I think the weekly newsletters that go out are helpful.
And by that you mean the Lions Roar?
Correct.
Okay.
We could use it. The Instagram account seems to be very active so far this year. If people follow, that can't probably be the only source, but.
Mm-hmm. And as there are, things that are important that we want to make sure all families hear, not all families necessarily subscribe to the Lions Roar. I hopefully y'all have received those Infinite Campus messages that I've sent out. All right, let's move on to students. Keeping students in the loop. I'm not sure, honestly, I'm not sure what that looks like for an elementary school. I mean, I think one way we keep them in the loop is, sometime from time to time, we do announcements every day, but
Yeah.
we have posters, announcing things. There are posters all over the school right now announcing the 5th grade car wash this upcoming weekend. Something else for families. I mean, every grade level sends home a newsletter as well, correct?
Yeah. They do. I find those to be helpful.
I think when students can be involved in the ways of keeping others in the loop, we have very active and willing students who would like to be a part of that.
We have the morning news show that maybe does some of that, right? So what is there something specific that you were thinking of, Jessica?
No, I'm just thinking of like kids that have announced or kids that visit classes, and I know I had to have everybody do that before the holiday performance. The student volunteers, the name is escaping me right now, that Miss Molina runs, the group of
The ambassadors.
ambassadors, yeah.
Kid volunteers, ambassadors,
Mhm.
going room to room.
Yeah. We used to have like a live broadcast of the announcements too, when I first got here many years ago, as well with the news team.
Okay. Staff. We've got Miss Henry is now
Yeah.
sending a week at a glance. We've also created what we're calling an operational calendar. I've sent it out to staff, but she's also going to start embedding it in that week at a glance. We also, admin sends emails to the staff. We have staff meetings. Is there something, 3 of you are staff members, is there something you feel like we're missing or that we can do better in terms of communicating?
I think maybe.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, I love the weekly newsletter that we get from Ms. Henry. Really kind of breaks down the week for us.
Right. Last year I was doing a crew connection. That was I think it started kind of mid-year maybe. It felt like a lot of work for not a lot of bang. Not a lot of buck. A lot of bang, no buck is what it felt like. And so I think we were brainstorming, hoping that the week at a glance, which is shorter, might be a better way to go. But I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts if you enjoyed that crew connection and felt like that was giving you what you needed.
I think that has some things in common with the week at a glance, similarities. I was just going to say, sometimes I think the staff, like making everyone aware of some things, I think maybe better utilizing some of those tools in place. So we all in the building knowing what's going on that may impact us in whatever way in another area of the building. So maybe better utilize that calendar embedding that's going to help maybe.
Yeah, and that calendar has a lot of stuff in it. It's listing all of the testing days. It's listing, we're trying to put like the topics for our PLCs and our staff meetings. We're trying to get staff birthdays up there. It's a work in progress, but we're trying to make it as robust as possible. Okay. Community. So I know that there are community members that subscribe to the Lions Roar. What are other ways that we might think about engaging the community?
Just thinking of something that's coming up in my end of the building, taking the kids out to do things. I know we maybe could engage more community volunteers for different events that we have, whether that's like the holiday sale or field day or this or that.
So I know, we'll put out like banners and,
Yeah.
different signs on our fence. For those types of events, like certainly the Christmas tree sale, there's lots of advertising of that.
Mhm.
Here's something else. I mean, the number of t-shirts, I mean, just sending our kids out, with all of the different t-shirts, I think also is kind of advertising events that are happening, et cetera.
I think this would be probably a lot of work, but like there's neighborhood associations or communities around the school. If there was something that we wanted to try, if there were meetings.
And the PTA has like volunteer block captains, which are like, they try to get like somebody in each neighborhood to kind of be able to spread the
Oh,
word
yeah.
about things.
I mean,
Which, that's
honestly,
good. I
yeah.
just hope all neighborhoods actually have, it's like, I sure hope that there is a block captain for every neighborhood, so.
Well, and I'll tell
Um,
you, that might be an opportunity for us in that Michael, who we approved to be our community member, he is married to one of our welcome desk folks, Caroline.
Yes,
And
Well,
so,
that's-
I do think making sure that our information, what's happening in these Go Team meetings, is getting to the PTA, because then it disperses and spreads as well. And we do also have Go Team representation. AJ, I think, served in this role at our last foundation meeting as well. So there is some cross communication there.
like, I am a block captain
It-
for our neighborhood, so it's like posting
Yeah.
I'm trying to, put stuff, but it's like, we could probably use it more, I guess
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's
That's
not very
great.
often that I get an email to actually do any, like, post or,
Yeah. Yeah. Let's kind of group all of the meaningful ways to gather ideas and feedback. Certainly I send out like Google Forms or surveys to staff. Other than the climate or engagement surveys, I don't think anything has gone out to parents or students for that matter. So what are some thoughts around how we gather ideas or feedback from all of our constituents, students, faculty, families, community?
I would love to kind of briefly go back to your last point. I think it ties in. I would love to find a better way for us to reach our Chattahoochee community. And maybe you guys already do, since I don't teach the DLI students. But I just think there's such a wealth of information that could be shared with these families. And we have such amazing native Spanish speaking volunteers at our school and teachers. I don't know if there's a way to get more communication to them or able to get these parents to the school for events.
Yeah, thank you so much, Erica, for bringing that up. Early works at Agape. And so I think that strategically was one of the reasons that we nominated her last year to be one of our community members, is bridging that gap there. I will also say that I've been talking with the PTA about, I do the principal pastries thing here. I think it's like twice or 3 times a year, maybe, but wanting to do those out in the community, and in particular, that side of town, which seems to, that you're right, that area, we tend to have less parents that are coming into the school from that community. So, trying to be strategic. It might even be at Agape, but doing something more often where we're going to them. We have some curriculum nights that, like a math night and a reading night that we do at Agape. So utilizing things like that.
Are there
Any
any,
other- Go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, are there any other like local or businesses or organizations that could we could partner with to not only just pass on information, but pass on, any resources or do any sort of educational activity or fun activity with any of our population of students?
Maybe to that point, I know there's probably some foundational churches and religious organizations in the community. Maybe we could also partner with them to disseminate some of the information for maybe upcoming students from their congregations.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that I think it's a synagogue back off of Peachtree Battle. I know we partner with them for like snacks, backpack buddies and things, so they donate things to our school, which is fantastic.
There's a big one too off of Fairmont, where the new Beltline spur is coming in, not far as the crow flies from Chattahoochee area either.
Okay, great, thank you. Last thing, just thinking about how we can bring all of these folks into the work, not just a viewing audience that's watching the live stream, but again, I think this goes back to the input, engaging them in that way. Any other thoughts about stakeholder engagement?
I mean, this might seem obvious, but I wonder, as we look at forums to get their input, we ask how they want to stay informed too, like what vehicles they would want.
All right. Anything else? Okie dokie. So, I didn't add any slides for information. We're pushing 4:15 right now. I will tell you that, one of the things that you've already heard is our test scores for the end of the year last year looked really, really good. We had a ton of growth from each of our kind of subgroups and our school overall. I'll also tell you that our enrollment this year, we not only met our projection, but we surpassed our projection. So what that means is, unlike last year, where at the beginning of the year we lost about $140,000 in reserve, we won't be losing that money this year. So it just gives us some additional funding that we can really think about what our needs are and move in that direction. Okay, so then one of the last things to discuss that is on our agenda, and there's been a lot of talk around this, is personal electronic device policy, which really is about phones. A law was created, and APS also, I think there was a law, right? There was a law. But so starting last year, students were asked to keep their phones up and away. Our personal electronic device policy is long-standing. There's board policy. Okay, yeah, so this year, the law has actually gone into effect, okay? And that will expand it to include other personal devices like smartwatches, tablets, and headphones. All right, so if you want to take a gander at the APS board policy. And you all have access to this Google slide and, can click on that there. you know, we're just really trying to make sure that when students are here, they can focus on the things that they need to focus on. And then in terms of bringing devices to school, you know, the possession of these things is only extended to students with the express written consent of their parents and guardians. Again, at this age, really, we shouldn't have kids bringing any personal devices. You know, I mean, I think research is really clear about the age in which it is ideal to supply kids with smartphones or those types of devices. So, you know, we're just following suit in terms of the board policy. Any questions or comments about that? No. Okay, then I think that, let me go back to my script here. All right, so the Go Team office would like to remind all Go Team members that they are required to complete orientation within 1 year of joining the team and must be have to renew it every 4 years. Failure to complete the orientation training will result in removal from the Go Team. I think when I last looked, I think everyone that is on right now has completed their orientation. Is that correct? Okay, perfect. All right, so we've reached the end of our agenda. Any additional business at this time? All right, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn?
A second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Or
Aye.
raise your hand.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions? I can't tell if Erica chimed in or not, Allison. Oh, okay,
I'm here.
okay,
All good.
great,
Everything good.
awesome. Otherwise, I think we probably could have just listed her as an abstention, but she's good, great. All right, so the meeting is adjourned. Thank you guys so much for the conversation and for those of you that volunteered for our officer spots. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to the work this year and working with you all.
Thank
All
you.
right. Okay,
you all.
great. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.